feel quite bad, about the inheritance.
Why? What for? After your mom's death, we only got $75,000, and that's nothing to sneeze at. But she gave Diana almost everything. I mean, over $1 million is a lot of money. Well, that's because she's her only grandchild. We have to spoil her. And we are landowners, so we already have something established for ourselves. She doesn't have anything yet.
You say that, but you've already left it to her in your will. Don't you feel a bit bad? Hey, Diana, sweetie.
Yes, Mom?
Don't touch this money. Don't use it for anything. Only for emergencies, okay?
But I already bought a Chanel bag, and I really wanted to get these new heels. I'll just get those, then I'll put the money away, I think.
If you keep using your money like that, it'll run out soon enough. You have to take care of it. Just put the money away and pretend it doesn't exist, okay?
But why? It's not like we're broke.
As you go through life, you never know what hardships you may come across. It's always good to have an emergency supply. If anything, you can use it after you're married to send your children to college when they're old enough.
Exactly. There's no need to let people know you have that kind of money. Don't tell your husband when you get married. Keep it until it's urgent and you need to use it.
Okay, I guess I'll do that then.
Good. Just act like you don't have it. But someday you may need to spend that money for your family, so make sure you take care of it.
Well, it should be easy enough. I already have stocks that are making me around $15,000 right now.
Oh my, you really are becoming a little businesswoman, aren't you? I'm glad to hear it.
I know we're married, but I've been thinking about something for a while now. I want to get a job.
That sounds fine to me. If you want to work, you should go for it.
We really are so lucky. We can live in the house near a company when we get married. It'd be so convenient.
Exactly. I'm glad things have turned out well for us. Well, we should head off now.
I'll pay for the food since you paid so much for the date.
Oh, you're so cute. You know I make a lot of money. You don't have to pay for the food. I've got it. Don't worry about things like that.
I know, but I'd still like to treat you sometimes.
Well, if you're done eating, get up. Let's go over to the department store to go see your parents.
You know you don't have to celebrate their wedding anniversary, honey. It might be a bit much for them.
I don't feel any burden to do this. It's just because I want to. After we're married, I want to do even more for them, so I just can't stop here.
If that's the case, I'll make sure I'll get something for your parents too when their anniversary comes up.
No, that's enough. I already do enough for the two of us, so there's no need.
Just for today? Just this once?
Fine, I can't win, but really only this once, okay? I don't like to see you spending any money. Just let me give you things and be happy.
I know that's what you want, but I can't have that. It's nice to gift people things.
It's because I love you that I want to do everything for you. Do you understand how I feel? This is something I want to keep doing for you after we get married too. You might just have to get used to it.
I want to have a happy marriage with you too, Jacob. I want us to have a happy life. Jacob, you said you'd be all right with me working before we got married. Don't you remember? Why have you suddenly changed your mind now that we're married? It's not fair on me. Most couples both work these days. I don't want to be a stay-at-home wife.
Did you know my family has a motto? Did I ever tell you what it was?
No? What was it?
A woman's place is in the house and the kitchen, and she should never run outside.
Are we in the 1950s or something? What are you talking about?
A man should be working hard to provide for his family, alone. As for the woman, she can do the cooking and cleaning in the house. And raising the children too, but that's it. None of this working business.
Wow, there are still people who have this way of thinking? I didn't expect this from you.
You're barely making any money. I mean, if we were to calculate it, I'd make easily 100 times more than what you do. I'm not trying to argue, I'm just saying that you shouldn't be working.
I really can't believe you right now.
And your degree isn't even really a profession, to be honest.
That might be your opinion, but I'm telling you it is. I don't need your approval.
I mean, women's studies? What kind of a job do you expect to get with that? That's why it's hard for you to find good work to begin with. It'll be hard for you to make more money than what you're making at the moment.
Just because you went to some Ivy League college and got a vocational degree doesn't make you better than me.
Let me just put it simply. Men and women are different. Your place is at home. And because I have to move around a lot for my job, it doesn't make sense for you to get one. And I can't change my job, it's just not possible.
You said that when we got married, you could talk to the company and settle down in one place with them. What happened to that?
I tried talking to them, but they said they couldn't allow it.
How long have you known that for? You didn't think that was something important enough to let me know about? When something important happens, you have to talk to me about it, you know? I should know about these things.
I thought you would just quit working at your job and follow me. I didn't think much of it since it's pretty straightforward. It's not like a huge deal for you to quit.
This is completely different from what you said before we were married. What happened? What changed?
As we live, there are variables here and there, and things have to change and adjust. I have to live according to the situation. What else am I meant to do? Instead of worrying about stuff like this, think about having kids or something. You've been worrying about this work stuff for too long. Having a kid would make you a lot more useful to me, and it would keep you very busy, wouldn't it? I mean, surely having a kid would make you happier than working a job?
How much do you make a month?
Oh, that's right, I haven't told you, have I? In a month, I'll have between $4,000 to $5,000. That's just what's left over, though. I'm not including the rest. It's a man's money, after all.
But it's important for me to know so we can plan life accordingly.
Oh, don't worry about that. I'll just give you your allowance, and you can plan life according to that. Also, I was thinking we should really move out of this house.
Move out? Why? This place is fine, and you're rich. We can afford it, right?
That's not the issue. This place is just way too small for us.
Small? How is this place small? It's huge. We don't need a fancy mansion. We just need somewhere to relax and live comfortably. It's not like we have kids yet either. This place is fine. Let's just live here and save some money.
I can't live here, though. It's way too small to live comfortably. It's not fitting for someone of my class. I have a house in mind, and it's in Orange County.
Do we have that kind of money?
Well, I'll be able to get it. It's about $3 million if we buy it, but we can rent out a similar one.
Do you make enough to cover rent for a kind of place like that? It seems like way too much, and the area is so expensive. How do you expect to save that much just working by yourself? I have an idea that might be a bit better. In my opinion, instead of chasing after a house we can't afford and wasting money on rent, get somewhere big enough for you near your job. I can move in with my parents or something for a bit, and we can save a lot more money like that. We can't afford that house and have a lot of savings.
No way, a married couple has to live together. How can we live separately after we're married? How can you just want to live away from me? There is absolutely no way I can just see you on weekends. It's not right. My woman has to live with me. I don't want your parents having to meddle in things either. It's not for them to do. I don't like it at all, so let's just go with my idea. I don't want to hear anything else.
Now that I'm hearing your plan, I don't think you have as much money as you claim to have. Why are you getting so antsy about this whole thing?
I've said what I've needed to. My idea works perfectly fine, so we're gonna do that. You can stop worrying about it all. Just follow what I tell you to do and we'll be fine. You'll be a good wife, won't you?
I thought things would be so nice after getting married to him. We'd have a house and live happily. He was so kind and caring. Why is he suddenly so patriarchal? He really just wants us to live like a nuclear family. You're home early today.
Yeah, is that a problem?
Go wash your hands. Dinner is almost ready. I made us a casserole.
Geez, why is the house like this?
What do you mean?
You've been here all day and it looks like you haven't done any housework. You're a woman, for God's sake.
What's even wrong? What have you seen to make you say something like that?
The laundry? I saw you putting it in the dryer this morning when I was leaving for work and it's all still in there.
What's wrong with that? I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
You need to rewash everything. Leaving it in the dryer is gonna make everything wrinkly beyond belief. I am not wearing anything in there. Why do I have to come home to see this house in such disarray like this? Why can't you do what you're supposed to do?
Yeah, but I've been prepping the vegetables and meat for the casserole for ages. I've been busy.
If you were out all day and came back to this, you'd be angry too. Where's the chicken nuggets? You know I like to have them on the side.
I knew I was forgetting something. I got so caught up making the casserole, I forgot.
How can you get caught up in casserole?
I mean, I made salad and baked potatoes too on the side. Why are you so upset?
You know I won't eat my dinner without my chicken nuggets. Maybe you just wanted me to starve.
I chopped vegetables and herbs for the casserole. I seasoned the potatoes and made your favorite salad on top of all the housework. I had to clean the fridge from top to bottom. It's been busy.
I'm hearing all of these excuses, but what do you really do at home?
I just told you I've been doing a lot of things around the house.
It's not even like you have kids to take care of, so how could you be so busy? From morning to night, you're here alone. Maybe you got tired of putting those clothes out and had a nap all afternoon. I don't get those luxuries at my job.
Why are you talking to me like that? I didn't have a nap. I've been working hard, okay?
I can talk to you however I want. I'm your husband. You haven't made me one chicken nugget. What could make you so busy to forget that? You don't know how hard I work to make us money.
It's true I'm not out there watching you work hard, but in this life we all have our jobs. There's 365 days in a year and you work for 250 of them. I make sure to keep this place up every single day. Just because I don't have a job doesn't mean I'm not working hard at something else. I don't get to come home from working.
You don't know how hard it is to work a real job and get money. Is there even any way for you to know since you have no experience?
Before we were married, don't you remember I was working at a good company? Do you think I just went there for fun?
Back then, before we were married, you weren't even there for that long.
And who gets to say that? I worked there for a while. I had a job. I know what it's like.
You were only making like $20,000 a year at that job. It was nothing.
So does it not count as a real job because I don't get paid enough? Does that make any sense?
Well, from all the way back then and all the way into the future, my mind won't be changed. It wasn't a big company. It wasn't a proper job. The kind of work where you just sit at an information desk isn't sustainable. You can't do a job like that into your old age.
Let me ask you something.
What?
What about your job is so amazing?
What did you say to me?
How much do you make a year?
However much I make a year doesn't matter. We live from the money that I make. I can't believe that you're talking back to me like this.
We live from the money you make?
Is that not true?
No, of course, you're right. Let's stop. We aren't going anywhere with this. Honey, why has the money not come in this month?
Huh? No, I'm pretty sure it did come in.
But I checked our account and it hasn't come in.
Oh, right, I changed the money the account goes into. I got a new one.
Why all of a sudden? And you didn't let me know?
From this month, I'll start managing all of our money instead.
Why is that?
You've been spending way too much of it recently.
What have I been spending it on?
It doesn't matter. I'll be sorting things out like our taxes, utility bills, insurance, and stuff like that. I'll just give you money for the groceries.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well in that case, can I have the money for this month? I'm going grocery shopping today for us.
Sure then, I'll give you $200.
What?
That's what I'll give you to get groceries for us this month.
You're kidding me. That isn't gonna work. If you give me $200, we're gonna have to start shopping together so you can see what I mean.
Oh, that's not so bad.
What about the costs for the dry cleaning?
It's fine, I'll just send them to get washed and ironed somewhere else. It shouldn't be too expensive.
Who told you that?
No one, I just figured it shouldn't cost that much.
Can we really afford to send clothes to be washed and ironed on your salary, though?
Why are you being so annoying? Remember, I got our clothes from the dry cleaners yesterday evening. They ironed out all of my shirts for me there.
That's true, but it wasn't your money that paid for that.
Then whose money paid for all of that?
I used my own money.
Oh, you used your poor savings money when you only got $2,000? I'm sorry.
Are you listening to us right now? People can argue over the silliest of things, can't they? Let's not argue, honey. Anyway, $200 a month won't be enough. That's all, okay?
Don't laugh, it's not funny. It's only the two of us eating, so how much would that even cost? $200 is enough, and you should have some left over too. Just don't sit around wasting time and you'll be fine.
Sit around and waste time. I don't do that.
Okay, fair enough, that was a little bit harsh, but it feels like you're just a parasite leeching my money sometimes. You don't make $1, but all you do is spend.
A parasite? That's way too harsh. Since you want to say what you want, I will too. How much do you make a year? You still haven't told me anything.
However much it is, it's the money you live on. Why do you have to keep asking?
And I am thankful that I'm able to live from the money you earn for us, but I just want to know how much you make.
Fine, I make $60,000 a year, okay?
See, that's fine. Now that I know that, and you want to organize our finances for daily living, I'll tell you what we usually use that money for.
What?
And by the way, how much were you making around the time we got our place?
Around $120,000 a year, maybe?
When we got this place, you said you'd provide the $2 million and I'd cover the last $1, right?
Yeah, why are you bringing that up? We just went according to plan. There's nothing to talk about.
But at the time, I took out a loan for that extra money from my parents, so I've been slowly paying it off.
So you want me to pay them the money back then?
Oh, and also, how much is your phone bill every month?
Oh, my phone bill.
Every month it costs about $20. What about your pocket money? How much do you spend?
Maybe like a few $100s?
And how much is your gas and insurance for your car? And on top of that, our rent is $4,000. Food, house insurance, gas, and electricity. And the money you pay to my parents.
So why aren't you including your phone bill, your insurance?
Because I pay for that out of my own pocket. I don't touch your money for my stuff.
Wow, honey, that $2,000 saving is really powerful, isn't it? Does it grow on a tree?
It's not that. My savings aren't just growing on trees. I say this to make a point that I'm not some parasite living from your money. I don't just sit here and spend it. And why does it make me a parasite if I'm taking care of the house? Mothers and housewives all around the world must be parasites then.
There's no one else that just sits at home and does nothing like you. It's just you. You're the only one who sits around and does nothing but eat.
Nothing but eat?
Other women make money and just get bags and things like that from their husband's money. Maybe one of those fancy purses or something like that, or some nice heels.
Good for those guys then, to have lovely wives like that.
Are you being sarcastic? Other women make money and give it to their husbands. I'm saying that you're good because you don't do that. Women that make money alongside their husbands, it's just a poor product of our generation.
Wow, yes, of course, you're so right. Do you even remember what I said to you before we were married?
No, what did you say?
I told you specifically that I wanted to work and make some money, didn't I? But what did you say to me? A woman's place is at home. That's what you said to me.
But that was then and this is now. I didn't know what married life would be like then. I just said that because I was inexperienced.
Whether you said it because you were inexperienced or not, that's what you told me to do. So why are you telling me I'm some kind of parasite?
However you look at it, all you do is stay here at home unemployed. It's true, is it not?
Fine, yeah, I sit at home and I'm unemployed. I don't want to hear it anymore. So do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go get a job.
What, work at an info desk again? You're gonna make me laugh. Young woman can work that kind of job, but not a middle-aged lady like you.
Who said I was gonna work at an info desk? Either way, you'll have to move for your job in a year from now, so I can just work a part-time job.
What kind of part-time job would that be?
I can work in a grocery store at the checkout or stocking shelves.
What, working at a checkout at a grocery store?
That would be the most comfortable thing for me. And it also means I can quit whenever I want. No strings attached.
I am so embarrassed of you.
Why? What's so embarrassing?
If anyone we know sees your face there, it would be horrible. They would make fun of you.
I don't think anyone you know would stop there anyway. And nobody I know would make fun of me for that but you. It's so convenient for me to work this kind of job. It's simple and repetitive, and it'll give me something to do on some days.
Fine, go work at the grocery store then. I guess I can't stop you, at least for now.
I don't know why this bothers you so much. You said you wanted me to get some money.
I just want you to be at home.
You acted like you were making so much money, but you were lying to me. You don't make nearly enough to afford houses that are worth millions of dollars. So why are you acting like it? I quit my job at my company so I could do what you wanted. So I could stay home and look after things at the house, do laundry and clean. Through that loan, I was able to help us get this house. Even after all of that, you have the nerve to call me a parasite? I wanted to work and you told me not to. You were the one that stopped me. Maybe you're just taking out your stress on me because of work, but it's not fair. If you're stressed, just go for a walk or have a snack. I'm such an idiot for going along with what you told me to do. So stupid.
Quit talking about that and just make me my chicken nuggets. I'm hungry.
You and those chicken nuggets! Grow up! I'll make them, just be patient. I'll make you so many chicken nuggets you'll be sick of them by the time I'm done. Eat as much as you like. Honestly, Mom, if you were here long enough, your next stop would be the hospital. It's so horrible here.
Hey, what's all this negative talk? When things at home are bad, it's okay to talk about it, but you've got to make some efforts to change things in the house.
Mom, if you stayed at my house for a month, no, if you were here for a year, you'd see that I've been trying. I know you've been getting outpatient care over the last week. Why don't you stop at mine for a bit? Who knows, it might help things here. We only live about 10 minutes from the hospital too, so it'd make things easier for you too.
I think I'll be uncomfortable there, though. Your husband doesn't sound too friendly.
Whether he's nice or not, I'll be here, so it'll be okay. Just come stay at my house for a while and go to your treatment appointments. I'll even go with you to the appointments.
I don't know. I don't think your dad will like this.
Oh, Mom, there's no need to worry about this. And let's just meet up tomorrow, okay?
You did tell Jacob in advance, though, right? That's why you've asked me?
Of course I did. I'll let him know, and his parents should come visit too here and there to see you. If you tell me you don't want to come, I'll be pretty sad, you know?
What the heck is this?
What do you mean? It's pizza?
Pizza for dinner? After I've been working all day? Why not something fancier?
Just bear it for today, okay? Mom came over today and I was at the hospital with her for a while when she was getting her treatment.
Wow, like mother, like daughter. You're both parasites. You're both here now just lazing around doing nothing. You didn't even do as much as cook and you think, oh, let's just order pizza and eat that?
Dear God, please tell me I'm not hearing this right now. How are you seriously complaining about this? Saying something like that about my own mother? Your mother-in-law?
Isn't that the truth? It's not like I'm lying about her. You're both parasites just mooching from my stuff.
My mother is in the room right next to here and you want to talk badly about her? You have some nerve.
Oh, so I can't even speak loudly in my own house? Is that it?
Tell me right now, is this house only yours? Do we not live here together? Yes, okay, you're the breadwinner here. That's true, but this is our home.
Yes, that's exactly. It's my money, my house. I made the money that bought this place, so it's mine. You and your mother are just parasites living from it because you can.
Your way of thinking doesn't make any sense. I can't believe you. Do you really think the $5,000 a month you make covers all the stuff we have? With rent on top? Do you think that's possible?
What? Am I really meant to believe that your measly savings of $2,000 are helping pay the rent?
No, not 2,000. More like 1 million.
$1 million? Have you lost your mind or something? When we were married, you said you only had $2,000 worth of savings in your account. You said that's how much you had, and you're standing here proudly saying you have $1 million? You must be dreaming.
If a person tells you they had one amount and reveal the truth, you're just going to act like it's not real. Is that what you're saying?
How did you even get that kind of money? Did you win the lottery?
No, I got it as inheritance from my grandma. Why?
Inheritance? I've never heard of this.
I took good care of her when I was younger, so before she passed, she put me at the top of her list in her will.
Wow, I can't believe it.
What can't you believe?
Sorry, I mean, I really misunderstood you. I owe you a serious apology.
An apology? This is new.
Now that I think about it, I feel so bad for saying all of that before. Is my dear mother-in-law sleeping?
I'm sure she's awake now. You were yelling so loud earlier.
She must have been so tired going to get the pizza with you after going out for her treatment. Having regular treatments at the hospital must be so tiring. Are you sure the pizza is enough for her? I should go get her something good for dinner.
I'm getting whiplash from this change in attitude. First you yell, and now you want to be sweet? And anyway, like you said, you want her gone, so she'll be leaving next week.
Like I said? Wow, I can barely remember. Did I say something like that? 1 million. Right, our talk. We'll just see how things go and play it by ear, okay? Honey, I'm here.
Ugh, you reek of alcohol. How much did you drink?
I had a whole bottle just to myself when I was at work with my friends.
Good for you, but what's all of this?
Has your mother left already?
I'm asking you first, what's all of this?
What do you mean, what is it? Don't you know this bag and these shoes?
I know they're all designer brands.
That's right.
Those are so expensive, though. Why did you get something like that?
You know, I've been worrying about our image. It's better if you're seen with nice stuff like this.
But we don't have money for stuff like that. I mean, it's nice, but we don't make enough to afford that.
Well, it didn't come out of my salary, if that's what you're asking.
Well, then whose money bought this?
It's from our money, of course, so there's no need to worry.
What do you mean, our money?
Our money, like I said, we can afford it.
What money are you talking about?
The 1 million.
So you're spending money and going to replace it with the money from that. Who says that 1 million was yours?
Don't you know couples split their money, right? It's only natural. It's our joint property.
So with that money you bought expensive designer stuff? Without saying anything?
I only got this stuff, nothing else, just one thing.
Oh God, what is it? You didn't buy a fridge or something, did you?
No, not a fridge, but I've signed for a car and I'm getting it tomorrow.
Really? A car? What kind is it?
It's an Audi. Isn't it time your husband gets to drive an Audi around?
And with what money did you buy something like that?
One of my managers moved into the finance department, so he was able to give me a loan. So I was able to get it using that loan money.
We already had to take out a loan for this place. We don't have money to be spending like this.
Oh, don't worry, I can use our assets to pay for it, so you have nothing to worry about.
What assets are you talking about?
Our assets?
You keep talking about this like that's your money. You're really set on this idea. At this rate, I'm going to divorce you.
What did I do that was so wrong that you would want to get a divorce?
I really am going to divorce you, though.
It's so funny for you to say something like that. We got married and spent so much time working to live and get this house, and yet you want a divorce?
You were making $60,000 and only gave me $200 a month to cover our living expenses. I don't know a lot about how hard you were working at your job. I tried to use my own money to cover the bills that your money wouldn't cover. I also covered some of my loan payments. Even when we were sending money to my parents, rather than using more money, most of the time it came from my pocket. And anyway, we're going to get a divorce.
Wait, you're serious about that?
I am. I'm going to get a divorce.
Can we really divorce over something like this? Just because of money?
No, not just because of marriage. Spousal abuse, defamation, and insults, those are my reasons.
What, because I called you a parasite, you're gonna say I was abusing you?
It's more than enough. And you even insulted my mother, your own mother-in-law.
There's no evidence, so you can't do that.
I recorded the whole thing, so I have plenty of evidence.
Are recordings really enough?
They are. You'd be surprised how nasty you are to me and my family when you're mad. And on top of that, I have proof that you changed your accounts so I didn't have any money.
You know what? Fine, do as you wish. I don't really care anymore.
Good. I think at this point a divorce would be good for us. Since you agree, I think I'll go right ahead and start the paperwork for it.
Go right ahead. You're gonna regret this, though. Remember this.
Regret? Why would I regret this? I've been planning on it for so long. I'm tired of you treating me like I'm some kind of slave.
You'll regret it if you take away that money. It'd be easier if we just used it together.
It would only benefit you. You only want to stay so you have access to that money.
Anyway, tomorrow in the morning, I'll take a look at my finances. You should do the same.
What? Do you think I'm giving you any of the money? You must be joking.
You'll have to. When couples get a divorce, all of their assets are split 50-50. You have to give it to me.
You really think you can take away my money? I won't allow it.
Oh, you can try to defend yourself, but law is law. There's no getting out of this. Honey, can we talk about something?
You're still calling me honey? We aren't together anymore, you know? At least unofficially.
I've been thinking about things and I've had a change of heart.
A change of heart about what?
When you talked about divorce before, I got really riled up, so I said a lot of things. I know I said I wanted to get a divorce too, but I've thought it over a bit. I think we can make this work. Divorce is too common these days.
It's a lot more common now, but taking everyone else out of the picture, don't you think it would be good for us to get a divorce?
Honey, just think about it for a second. Think about what we were like when we got married.
What about it?
I said I wanted to take responsibility for you, so I didn't want you to go out and work. That I loved you so much as a man and that I wanted to protect you.
Yeah, I know. That's how you felt.
I don't really think you knew what it meant to me, though. I wanted you to live a comfortable life, and that's why I didn't want you to go out and work.
Wow, that's so beautiful. Thank you so much. Wow, what a good man. You are the best.
Honey, stop being sarcastic with me. I'm trying to be sincere. If someone is pouring out their heart to you, you don't just slap them in the face like that.
Fine, I'll listen. Maybe you have something reasonable to say.
If you were working at an info desk, so many men would get to see your beautiful face, and I hated the thought of that. So that's why, rather than have you work, I wanted to take responsibility for you.
Wow, so inspiring. Applause!
Please, anyhow, I've thought about things a lot. I'm only human, and having to take responsibility for the both of us weighed on me. So I said a lot of hurtful things to you because of that.
You did say a lot of hurtful things to me, all the time.
But that wasn't the real me. I was just stressed.
Sure, but after all this time, why are you only feeling remorseful now? You never apologized once for it before.
Well, I mean, I guess there's no reason.
Do you think I'm stupid? I know you've already gone to see your lawyer, so I don't know why you're pretending like you aren't going ahead with this.
How did you find out about that?
The attorney's office called asking for identification and that they were getting back to you with some information. You really thought half of my inheritance would go to you, didn't you? Because it's our joint property?
But isn't that logical to think? That's how it usually goes.
You idiot. You're so self-absorbed. You really think that my premarital assets would have to be split 50-50? Where did you obtain this groundbreaking knowledge from?
Of course, I mean, we're a couple, so everything should be split 50-50. Doesn't that make sense? I know American laws can be strange, but I was sure there was a way.
So you figured out that it wasn't possible, so you came crawling back to apologize to me? That's the only reason you're sorry for anything.
You're right about that, and I'm really sorry. I mean, you aren't perfect either. You also pretended to care for this family. Weren't there times where you felt annoyed or under pressure?
Yeah, I did, but that isn't the point. Marrying you made things so much more stressful for me. You can say what you want, but I'm going to get a divorce.
Are you really gonna go ahead with it?
I will. I'm serious about this. From the day I was born, I've never seen a man like you before. You pretend to be the image of a good working man, but it's all lies.
How can you talk about your husband like that? You're so disrespectful, you really never know your place.
And who are you to criticize me?
Fine. About the loan I took out to get the car, what am I supposed to do about that?
Why are you asking me about that? It's your business. Nothing to do with me.
Who am I meant to ask about this then?
Not me, that's for sure. You took that loan out all on your own. I didn't tell you to do that.
You told me you had $1 million from your inheritance.
I did, and what about it?
So because I saw that as our joint property, I took that loan out believing I could use it to pay off the loan right after.
Why would my inheritance become our inheritance? I didn't give it to you after we got married, so what makes you think you'd get it now? Just think about it for a second.
But we're a couple.
After you found out we aren't splitting the money, you've just been talking crap to me the whole time. It's not gonna work on me.
Oh, don't be like that. Just let me borrow the money for the loan.
I'm not giving you the money.
If you do, I'll start paying you back from next month. I'll take it from my salary.
That won't work. Do you know how long it would take for you to pay that off?
Exactly. How am I meant to pay off the loan company? That's why I need the money.
If you couldn't afford it, you shouldn't have bought a car in the first place. Even if there's a penalty, it would be better for you to just cancel the contract for the car.
No, I don't want to. I've always wanted an Audi. I'm not going to give it up just like that. It's only fair for a man to ask for something like this. It's every man's dream. You have a lot of money. You couldn't even do that for your dear husband? Do you want me to end up like a bum with no money? This will ruin me. So just lend me some money.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm sorry.
We're still in the middle of a divorce, so we're still technically together. It's not like I'm keeping it. I'll pay it back to you.
How am I meant to believe that on your salary you can afford to pay back that kind of money on top of your rent? You took out a loan of $150,000 that would take years to pay off. You're working your own job, living your life, and you want me to pay you money?
What am I supposed to do?
I don't know, but it isn't my problem.
We're a couple.
No, we are not anymore.
We are.
If we get separated, this debt is on you alone to pay. I want nothing to do with it. I'm telling you that now.
So I have to pay it off all by myself?
You bought the most expensive person's shoes I've seen in my life. Go return them and maybe use some of that money to help pay it off. You're stressing me out with all this talk of debt. I don't want to hear it. Dealing with a divorce is enough.
I treated you so well before we got married. Don't you remember any of it?
It's true you treated me well before we were married. After that, you changed so much.
But remember the me from back then. Do you really want to do this to me?
You aren't the same man you were before. You treated me well before, but that's all but gone now. You haven't kept a single promise to me from those days before we were married. I held on and I tried to make things work. I used my money where I had to because you couldn't provide it. If I hadn't used that money to help, I would have just been a parasite leeching from your money. You went as far as saying that about my own mom. I thought long and hard about it, and I was mad. But then something about it was funny. If anyone is a parasite, it's you and your parents.
No, you're wrong. I'm not that kind of man.
If I went to your company and explained all of this to them, who would they call the parasite here? Would your work friends call me and my family the parasites?
There's no way you would do something like that. If you did, I could never show my face there ever again. Since I began working there, they've seen me as a hard-working man.
If you want to keep up that persona, then you should divorce me. If you don't, I'll tell them all about how you treated me.
Fine, okay, I get it. Just don't tell anyone.
You're so shallow. The way you treated me wasn't important, but your image is? I really see the kind of person you are now. I'll be happy when all of this is over and I'm finally free. I hope you spend the rest of your life thinking about this. How things could have been so different between us. With the money from my inheritance, I was able to afford a good lawyer and go ahead with the divorce proceedings. I was finally free from my husband. After the divorce, I was able to finally live a free life, and it's been a year since our divorce. I was even able to start working a new job at a company, and I'm really happy there. The inheritance money that my grandma gave me all of those years ago is still intact, and I haven't needed to use $1 of it since the divorce. No fancy bags or shoes here. So when I come across someone that I really love someday and have kids of my own, I want to use the money to send them to a good college, just like my mother told me to all of those years ago. My husband, who was earning $60,000 a year and calling me a parasite for not working, just wanting to spend my money, he's not having the best time, as you could imagine. He's still spending his money and not saving any of it, and owes around $20,000 of divorce fees. He returned his car from what I've seen, but he's still deep in debt, having to pay off this phone and keep up with daily expenses. His insurance and his parents' pocket money, all of that extra stuff must be piling up high right now. If he's still spending his money freely, he's definitely struggling. Oh, and since we're on the topic, when he came to me drunk that day, he told all of his coworkers about the money and treated them to dinner and drinks. It ended up costing him easily another $2,000. He's paying off debt for the shoes, designer bags, and those things aren't cheap. He even told his parents about the money and gifted his mom some more expensive designer things. Hearing that he had that kind of money, she started buying things and asking him to pay it off too. He's in really deep water. The funny thing is, even then, he couldn't take the thought of telling his coworkers and friends about the fact that he didn't have the money. So when he went to pay, he gave the wrong card information and said it was an accident because he was drunk. He then started calling each of them, saying he just needed a little bit of money to pay for it and if they could just transfer it into his account. After that, he collected the money from each of them for it. And that's just how he's going about life, like a parasite. He became the very thing he accused me of. I hope that women out there never have to come across a man like this. Now that I'm divorced, I'm happier than ever, and I'm glad I planned and went through with it. I've changed my number so he can't contact me and told him explicitly that I'm cutting contact. I thought about how much he changed his behavior and was so willing to change when he realized I had money. Because of that, I am keeping this money a secret again, and the only money I will use is the money I earn from my job. If I hadn't had the strength back then to fight back, he would have taken all of that money and used it. I'd have nothing to my name and I'd be completely broke. So as a lesson, remember to protect your assets, and if anyone seems to switch up their behavior around you because you have money, you might want to reconsider their intentions with you. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, hit the like button and subscribe to see more content.